Yeah, welcome back on stage 2. It's time for presentation 4. I'm very much looking forward to the presentation of Ross Bailey from Refinitiv, our partner firm, on the topic, the Refinitiv Data Platform, Redefining the Data Experience. Yeah, Ross, he is currently the head of platform capabilities and feed distribution at Refinitiv. And he joined Thomson Financial in 2006 as a data stream business development manager. And then subsequently, he was global head of risk product management at Thomson Reuters. And I read in your bio that you have 3 toddlers at home, and you have become a homeschooling expert over the last year. So I thank you very much for taking the time and presenting to us. Yeah, the stage is yours.
Wonderful, thank you. Hello, everyone. It's fantastic to be part of the DKF 2021 Congress, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to speak to you today about the Refinitiv Data Platform, our vision for the platform, and vitally what it means in providing value to the industry and our clients. So, as Alexis said, my name's Ross Bailey. I'm the head of the platform product management team at Refinitiv. I'm currently based in London, in a very cold London, in a loft. I'm pleased to say there are no children homeschooling today, so we shouldn't get any interruptions. And now what I'd like to cover in the session is firstly explain to you a little bit about what the Refinitiv Data Platform is, the benefits and outcomes that it looks to drive for our users, and then focus on a couple of use cases over the platform. So the first being a look at our new pricing and reference solution for the Swiss tax market, and the second one on our strategic digital wealth offering. So to start, over the past few years, we've made significant progress to modernise our product estates at Refinitiv to meet the evolving needs of our customer base, particularly as digital transformation becomes ever more critical for our industry's success. And the Refinitiv platform transformation has been having a positive impact in supporting our clients with changing demands that they face in the market, from supporting opportunities to drive more cost-effective solutions through APIs and feeds, to addressing their regulatory needs, while always looking to rapidly change the customer experience by providing greater openness to Refinitiv content, services and solutions. And the Refinitiv Data Platform involves greater adoption of the cloud. It involves new data sets and new capabilities coming to market. It involves innovation with how Refinitiv distributes data. But at its core, it's about ensuring that doing business with Refinitiv is greatly simplified. So the vision is to guarantee clients can find, try, buy, integrate and collaborate with Refinitiv, and so help them meet their challenges to reduce total cost of ownership, adopt the cloud, develop advanced analytics and further their automation efforts. To put it simply, all our efforts into the platform are about improving the customer experience. So focusing on that customer experience ensures that we are continually striving to delight our customers and users when they interact with Refinitiv. So this focus of putting customers and clients at the heart of everything we build and how they then experience our services underpins this platform strategy. Because Refinitiv and its predecessors have delighted clients with a range of great products for many years. Some of them are very mature brands like Lipper, DataStream that was mentioned at the start, Datascope. These are all products that our clients use to access our data and which support a whole wealth of use cases, from wealth management, portfolio analytics to economic macro strategies. But each of these products have their own distribution mechanisms. Some with different data models, some have their own supporting core services like usage. And so our goal is to deliver a single consistent experience in finding and trying Refinitiv and third-party data and make it easier for our customers and partners to access, distribute and develop with Refinitiv. So we transform from these individual and valued products to one set of strategic cloud-based services through which all of our content flows consistently. The movement to platform and a platform-orientated world sees our market-leading data, which you can see a subset there illustrated on the left, to leverage common and consistent shared capabilities and enabling services, which are in that middle section, and support then all the use cases that are illustrated on the right. And the benefits of this are many, but just to emphasize one, with the platform approach, we have a singular point of access for our clients through what we call the API playground. And that allows users to test, evaluate and explore all of our content. And this visual layer that sits on the platform provides access to a host of API endpoints for multiple data sets and a whole array of types of distribution. So today we have a suite of APIs for data sets like our ESG data, real-time streaming, ownership, news, and we'll have some examples of those in our use cases. So what about the outcomes then? Well, the combination of the Refinitiv data with core platform common capabilities enables 5 customer benefits and outcomes to deliver that consistent data experience that our users then have when they access, distribute and build with Refinitiv. So the first one is resilience. As our customers' workflow needs evolve with technology and the demand for always on and reliable service, a reliable service remains critical. So cloud-enabled services allow for multi-region resiliency and a robust service model that supports increased customer process demands. I mentioned a couple of times the criticality of product and data consistency. So we've got a unified data model underpinning our strategic content sets on the platform, like ESG, fundamentals and news. And access is then provided via standard API-first distribution tooling with a modern customer experience. So regardless of the data set you're looking at, the API syntax and calls are always consistent. The platform technology drives openness and scalability. So with cloud adoption, industry standard architectures. Gone is all the proprietary and internal code, and the broader ecosystem is supported with a developer community that helps our customers and partners drive their transformation. Customers also expect a frictionless experience to discover, test, buy, and deploy our data and services. And so this requires transparency around data consumption and ability to track usage, new administration and commercial tools. And then the final point is agility. So with a standard way of distributing content and assessing and accessing services, we can capture customer insights with reusable tools and capabilities that accelerate development cycles and launch workflow critical applications that much more quickly. Okay, so now that we've touched and covered and put in context the strategy and benefits of the Refinitiv Data Platform, let's look at the first of 2 use cases. Refinitiv's Swiss stamp duty solution was developed in response to the Swiss banking community's request that there was only one certified data vendor providing Swiss stamp duty data into the market. Our clients were looking for an alternate data vendor to bring some competition to the market and support this asset management and wealth management need. So we partnered with one of the biggest Swiss banks in Switzerland to define the scope of the offering, and we are now a Swiss Federal Tax Authority certified data vendor. And although the requirement was to deliver the Swiss stamp duty offering along with our existing reference data service, Datascope Select, we took the opportunity to build the entire solution over the Refinitiv Data Platform by introducing supporting data sets that are currently available through said Datascope Select. So here is a list of the content sets available within the Refinitiv Data Platform, covering basic reference facts, terms and conditions, end-of-day pricing, corporate actions, Swiss stamp duty info, and then additional data sets like regulatory data and analytics will follow. Distributing this solution via the Refinitiv Data Platform means we employ state-of-the-art technology, so REST APIs, data access APIs, GraphQL, which is an AWS component, all that can customize the query and help maintain the client's portfolio. Data extractions and scheduling is highly flexible and fully controlled and managed by the client. This enables clients to access data anytime. And the image here on the right shows the API playground that I mentioned earlier, that singular point of access. So what happens with the workflow? Well, here's an illustration, which we call a two-step approach. The platform is driven by permanent identifiers or unique Refinitiv perm IDs. So symbology is very much at the core, a core component of this solution. The client will come with their list of instruments, so ISINs, CEDLs, QSIPs, and go to our symbology API as a first step to get that perm ID. This one-time exercise creates the portfolio, and once this is done, they can add and modify that instrument perm ID list when there are changes to their own portfolio. Now, critically, the client doesn't need to worry about modifying that instrument list when there are symbol changes or ISIN changes, as we retain the same perm ID for the instrument throughout its lifetime. The next step is to access our GraphQL interface within that API playground that I mentioned to construct the query based on the client requirement. They can combine multiple levels and create one query, or they can create an individual query for each asset class and content set. The schema view is available via the platform for easy navigation and to understand that data model. Once the query is defined, they take the instrument list with the perm IDs they've created using the symbology and request the data. Given it's API driven, they can schedule their extractions based on their requirement and so retrieve all the data they require for their portfolio in a dynamic way. They can also request delta changes based on the previous extractions and receive only changes that happened since that last extraction. Yeah, so what's the benefit of the platform over then existing solutions? Well, firstly, we have more data. So for example, on reference data, we've more data facts and terms and conditions for respective asset classes on platform when compared to existing products. Navigation is easier to join the query, to get a consolidated output of issuer, instrument and quote level facts in one go, rather than running multiple extractions. And with the Refinitiv data model, you have access to the full, Refinitiv Data Platform, you have access to the full data model within a single request. And that consistent data model for easy onboarding and integration is critical. Fields are identified consistently across all data sets, and everything is driven by the perm ID. So we can onboard data more quickly over the platform to meet the evolving client demands in a more agile fashion and without disrupting the client workflow. And then the last point is the format. We've considered the JSON format over traditional formats like CSV or XML as a lot easier for clients to process and ingest data. It gives us a lot of flexibility to continuously enhance and add new fields, extend the data models without breaking the client's workflow. And fields are delivered as a piece of data that can be easily deployed into the client's workflow. That said, we are looking to support CSV and XML going forward as well. Okay, so let's look at the second use case, which was that of wealth management. And the benefits that the wealth management space can leverage from the Refinitiv Data Platform are very similar to pricing reference, because that, of course, is the power of a platform approach, consistency and scale. Okay, so I'd like to take look at a few examples here that utilize Refinitiv's market-leading environmental social governance data, so ESG data, and then news. So issues such as climate change, diversity, human rights, corporate governance are at the forefront of public and political attention. Investors are increasingly demanding that these issues are factored into their portfolios, and financial professionals are differentiating their services using ESG criteria. With Refinitiv, we've made it easy to integrate ESG factors to support client use cases such as portfolio analysis, equity research, screening, or quantitative analysis, so clients can more effectively deliver on investment mandates, meet client demands, and identify risks across portfolios. The Refinitiv platform provides access to our broad ESG content suite, which includes over 450 measures, tracking over 10,000 global companies, with data going back to 2002. It includes our scores, which are designed to transparently and objectively measure a company's relative ESG performance, commitment, and effectiveness based on publicly available data. Today, we offer ESG content over the platform in 2 delivery methods. First is a RESTful request response API, and also as a bulk JSON API. So let's have a look first at the API. So a great way to sample this content is via the playground that I've mentioned a couple of times. And here you can see an illustration of what will come up after you search for ESG. You get 7 endpoints providing curated packages of content based on customer use cases. Descriptions and operations are provided for each endpoint that allow for a series of pre-formatted examples that the user can then manipulate. So let's say I'm interested in getting Refinitiv's ESG scores over the last 3 years for a couple of companies in my portfolio. I'd select the endpoint at the bottom here, which has the ESG scores, that brings up the ESG scores in our database. If I select that, it will take me through to a pre-canned set of queries that you can see illustrated here. And coupled with the symbology service that I mentioned in the PRS use case, you can translate any popular company codes. Here you can manipulate codes and tickers, and once the query is submitted, you can see the response nicely formatted in the preview tab at the bottom of the screen. It shows the last 3 years of scores with grades that have calculated for the company, in this case over 2017, 18 and 19. And this will help provides high-level content and help discern ESG characteristics between firms. And if you wanted to go deeper, you can see all the underlying measures that contribute to these scores, and you can access the full measures API endpoint, which it was in the previous screen. If we now take this on to look at the another digital wealth service, very popular one, which is news. And this has content sets that can be accessed by our professional and retail clients. And Refinitiv has exclusive access to the well-respected Reuters financial news service, one of the largest and most trusted in the world. So the news service over the platform provides access to the best of breed premium curated content sets from Reuters, has over 200 third-party sources, including corporate press wires, specialist and local providers. And it's built on an industry standard data model focused on delivering the most efficient and structured news. And the Refinitiv Data Platform offers both standard RESTful APIs as well as a streaming messaging service, allowing clients to consume news in the most timely manner. The platform service also provides richer, digitally ready content, recognizing that our customers increasingly consume more news on online devices. So to this end, news is delivered with an enhanced HTML formatted stories and images, and we also provide curated packages like Reuters Top News and Breaking Views. Furthermore, we've allowed customers to go beyond just searching for news on companies by expanding the embedded metadata we provide with our news to include our Refinitiv Intelligent Tagging and Perm ID services to help target relevancy, insight, and linking. Additional analytics are also included, providing insight into readership and tools to understand sentiment and master significance. So, for example, I may want to filter the number of stories in my portfolio based on certain topics with higher importance, or understand if new sentiments on my portfolio is more positively negative, is more positive or negative. So like ESG, let's just have a quick look at a couple of at an example here. If I go to the search box and I've typed in news, I can see these endpoints, 12 endpoints, with a whole range of headlines, online reports, and how to access metadata. Here you can select an endpoint, maybe top news, which is at the bottom of the screen, and have a look at the top news example. So Reuters Top News brings together the latest business and political stories and images, moving market and making headlines in the world. And the image I'm showing here is using our demo tool, and it shows the art of the possible about what you can use when you're taking our APIs. So various filters can be applied, and rather than show the headline API calls in the playground, here you can see the images and the formatting of the content as it might appear in practice. Okay, so this takes us to the last slide. Let me just recap on a couple of critical elements. the platform is offered over cloud environments. It takes advantage of cloud scalability and flexibility and security, and it thus allows our clients to reduce costs and run data off premises. It provides an efficient, unified interface for Refinitiv and clients to manage and integrate all types of content, structured, unstructured, Refinitiv, third-party data, which is then normalized and mapped within a discoverable marketplace. There is a simplified multi-channel access point, the API playground, and supporting discovery tools for clients as well as partners and solution providers to facilitate consumption, publishing, and management of their data. It also adheres to best-in-class open standards to deliver all of our content and supporting services, allowing for efficiency of integrating data, decreasing time to market, and reducing data management. And finally, there's a self-service ecosystem for search and discovery, peer support and collaboration, and self-administration, provisioning, and usage reporting. So like I said at the beginning, the Refinitiv Data Platform is all about improving the data experience for our users and our clients. I think we're probably at time, so I'll end there, and I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I hope the rest of your summit is informative and fun, and good luck for the rest of 2001. So Alexis, I think we're done.
We're in time. Thank you very much, Ross, for this very interesting presentation. As partner, I can say that the openness of your platform is paramount. Yeah, it's very important to be able to slice and dice the content and to put tools on top of it. So I really appreciate that. We have 5 minutes left for a Q&A, and I see 2 questions on the list. The first was, what is your biggest difference to Bloomberg?
What is our biggest? Good question. I think we've got a breadth and a richness of data that's market leading. We also have an openness in our platform that I think differentiates us. And that's not just a cliche phrase. That the Refinitiv Data Platform is not all about the desktop. The desktop is built on the platform, so our workspace solution. But it's also about ensuring that the development community, developers, third-party data sets can flow through our desktop via our platform and then out through APIs and different distribution services. So I suppose it's openness would be the crux of it, and it's very much not all about the desktop.
Yeah, I can confirm that over the years and through the acquisitions, you have plenty of content. So there's nothing you won't find on the platform. It's key to integrate it and to access it. So and this is
and that's a great. I mean, that is just to follow up on that. What we're doing here is really about bringing that content volume and to bear and make it accessible universally. So we have some fantastic products in the market. It's not always been the easiest to navigate them sort of simultaneously, because some of them are they don't all speak to each other in a uniform way. This unlocks that promise. It unlocks the promise of the acquisitions that go back over a number of years.
Yeah, perfect. Next question. It appears that data stream is still an anomaly when it comes to your consistent data model. Neither accessed the same way nor consistent content. Why is data stream treated differently?
So, well, I suppose the real flippant answer would be that data stream is treated differently because it's so wonderful. I mean, I'm a passionate data streamer. That when I started my career at decades ago, it was first on data stream. I have a very it's a wonderful product, wonderful data on it. I think actually, jokes aside, though, this is a question of timing. So at the moment, what we're tackling are ensuring we've got a common data model for some of the use cases I mentioned: pricing and reference, content to support that Swiss tax solution, and then the broader pricing and reference ecosystem, and then wealth management, and so company-orientated content. Data stream, as I suppose many people know, is a historical time series database. It has cross-asset global value, but it often gets thought of as economics, and certainly or macroeconomics, and certainly that's where a lot of its value sits, although not to discount its other data sets. So we actually have some programs underway to bring macroeconomic data and flow it through the platform. So it will get tackled, and it is being tackled, as well as the focus at the moment is on managing company level and pricing and reference related content. But data streams are dual. It very much part of the family.
Yeah, maybe we have 2 minutes left, and there are 2 questions. So, Ross, maybe you can have short answers to both of them. First comes from Imre. Imre, what does data and compliance control covering?
Sorry, say that again.
What is data and compliance control covering? Whatever that means, I don't get it.
Well, one of the things that we're obviously very conscious of is that we've got to have a secure platform, and that means both in terms of how people authenticate onto our system, as well as sort of security, so we don't let any third parties interact with it in a negative way. So we're very part of the build out of the platform is to make sure that we have that level of resiliency and security, and we have robust authentication, entitlement, and provisioning services to manage that.
Thank you. A last question comes from John. Firms often need to implement parallel internal systems for internal data, overrides, and approval processes. How can data platforms help with this duplication?
Well, I'm not sure. No, let me just say maybe what you're getting at. One of the things we're doing with our platform is the services we pump out over the platform, we also use internally to build products. So there's an English phrase which is we eat our own dog food. I don't know if that has which is an interesting one, but it basically means we use what we build. We don't just ship it to clients, and I think that makes sure that what we're producing is robust and good for us as well as our clients.
Thank you. The last question came from Steffi. Steffi, may I ask you to send this directly to Ross, since we have an overrun and we need to jump to the stage 1 because of the panel. Thanks again, Ross, for this wonderful presentation.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. The next item will be on the agenda will be the panel on technology. It's panel 2, how technology will disrupt the exchange industry. This will be moderated by Peter Rendell. So thank you very much and stay tuned.
Bye-bye.